All right, how's everybody doing? Welcome to the family members of all the brothers of ZBT and the Jalemi family. Welcome. It's a pleasure to see you all. Now, understand we're going to do a little bit of a roast and toast, okay? Nobody should be offended by anything that I said tonight, okay? We're all brothers and Phil, and it should just be a good time. And everybody should just have a good time and laugh and not worry about it, okay? Does everyone understand that? Thank you. If at any time you are offended by anything I say, deal with it. I'm going to start off with myself, just so, to make it clear, if I can roast myself, then I can make fun of your children. I am 5'5". I'm a Jewish 5'5" boy who tells people I'm 5'7". My chest muscles are disproportional to the rest of my body. I have OCD, ADHD, acid reflux, and IBS. All I do is spend my time in the bathroom. I have hair similar to an Asian boy or a chia pet or porcupine. Thank you. It's true. I'm famous for making a YouTube video about Long Island, which got me $0, and every girl I end up getting with at Syracuse has had sex with pretty much half the campus. I'm obsessed with the New York Islanders, who are pretty much a minor league hockey team who may not be on New York for longer. And I started drinking last year, so I'm no better than any of your kids. So everybody should be loose and have a good time, okay? I'm going to start off with the man of the night who made tonight happen, Jason Garfield. Get up for Jason Garfield. Put a lot of work into this, a lot of effort, a lot of times. Those emails to all of you look like they were written by a 5th grader. Garfield's a really smart guy. He's more of a numbers guy than a words guy. Garfield spends almost as much time in the library as brother Ryan Kasdan. But don't worry, I'll get to you in a little bit, Kasdan. Garfield's allergic to everything, from peanuts to soy to being mean. The kid is the nicest kid in the world. You be mean for once, Garfield. Seriously, just say no to somebody for once in your life. He's befriended the bums who take our beer cans from our house to such an extent that one of them made him cookies that he couldn't eat because he was allergic to them. He's the Mr. Rogers of our pledge class, and the only person in the entire world who owns the seasoned discs of King of Queens. King of Queens is the most subpar show in the world that is syndicated everywhere, yet he owns the box set of King of Queens. I don't know why. But, and honestly though, one of the nicest kids I know, literally would do anything for anyone. I love you, went through all the trouble tonight. Give it up for Jason Garfield. See, it's not that bad. Relax. Now to Austin Weinerman. If you look up the word schmoozer in the dictionary, you would find a picture of Austin Weinerman. The king of what's good? And throwing high fives and sweet talking. It's amazing I haven't bought a used car from him yet. Though it may be at some point in your future. When he's not hanging with the soccer kids or pretending to break his paddle, he enjoys telling women how beautiful and gorgeous they are. As much as he loves to charm ladies, though, he clearly doesn't speak with his mother enough, because on Mother's Day she had to email Garfield to ask where Austin was because he didn't call her. If I had to just take a guess at where Austin was, it was probably somewhere with brother Josh Beagle, his new love interest, or trying to set up his infamous wing eating competition in the Dome. Overall, great kid. Glad you moved up to East Adams this semester. Great addition. We're all rooting for the comeback Austin Weinerman. Get up for Austin Weinerman. Next up, Andrew Bank. My roommate freshman year. Okay, now I have a story. I've told it a couple times, but it just gets better every time, so I'm going to tell it again. Andrew Banks is very big into philanthropy and philanthropic things, which is the same thing, essentially. Basically, freshman year, Paul Farmer. I don't know if anyone knows who Paul Farmer is. Does anyone know? I don't really blame you. Okay, besides us. Paul Farmer came, he does a lot of charity in Haiti and Africa, and I don't know, a bunch of good stuff. But anyway, he came to talk at our school, and most people, the average normal student, didn't care. But Andrew Bank was really excited about this. Really excited. Somehow he finagled his way to meet him, to eat with him, to have, like, the whole thing. A lot of fun. So me, Brother Garfield, and Brother Steven Saffer decided we wanted to have some fun with Bank about his love for Paul Farmer. So we made an email, paulfarmer@yahoo.com, and we sent him an email saying, "Dear Andrew, I met you. You were unbelievable. Honestly, your passion is great. We want you to come with us to Africa. We really think you can help us." So now me and Andrew share a split double, and I'm on my side of the room, and all of a sudden I hear Andrew go, "Oh man, I got an email from Paul Farmer." And I'm just sitting there kind of laughing, and he's like, "I gotta read it." And he's like, oh my, he wants me to go to Africa. I gotta tell my parents. I'm like, "Oh, maybe you shouldn't do that." By the time I get over to his side of the room, he's already forwarded it to his parents. He's already packing his bags. He's like halfway out the door. I was like, "Listen." He's like, "What, man, what?" "Sorry, man." He's like, "No, tell me it's not true." It's like, "Yeah, we made it up. I'm sorry." So that was one of the best pranks you've ever pulled. I had a good time with that. But Andrew Beck's a very unique kid. One of the strangest kids I've literally ever met. Between his cleft chin, his receding hairline, and his weird dance moves, I'm pretty sure Andrew Beck, by the age of 30, will become John Travolta. Between your hillbilly voice, your weird banjo hats, and your obsession with Africa, you truly are a strange man. I'm not sure where you came from. You don't really fit. But honestly, one of the most loyal kids I know, one of the most hardworking kids I know. He's done a lot for this house. One of my best friends, great kid, Andrew Beck. Moving right along to brother Dan Edridge. Edridge, thank you for not murdering me. For those of you who don't know Dan, he spends his life very similar to the hit TV star Dexter, working in the labs by day and butchering people's bodies by night. We say this because he's studying to be a doctor, and because he walks around with an actual knife in his pocket at all times. When he's not drawing obscene sexual organs on pieces of paper at the library, before coupling them up and continuing to work like it wasn't a big deal, he's on his computer watching X-rated videos. You can't find him at a pregame without a full bottle of Grey Goose in his hand, a cigar in his mouth, his knife in his pocket, and probably a dead body in his trunk. In all seriousness, he's a great kid. I love him. He's hardworking, one of the most unique kids I know. Does a lot of great work. Great kid, Dan Edridge. Please don't hurt me. All right. Congrats to Zach Yankover, who as of last week officially became an American citizen. This is true. Now you have no excuse to be behind on everything that we do. This kid asks more questions than anybody else I've ever met. Brother Yankover has one of the most comfortable beds in all of Syracuse. If you don't believe me, ask any of the hundreds of random girls who he sneaks in and out of his cave who sleeps in it. You can now just funnel them in through that hole that you have in your wall. Yankover's room often looks like downtown Baghdad. When he's not hanging out with us, he enjoys spending his time with his second fraternity, Teak. I'm proud to say, though, you've gone a full year without receiving a black eye, something I don't think you've ever done throughout the rest of college. But you got the Canadian brute, you know what it's a boot, and hey, you know what, you'll fight for any of us. One of the greatest kids I know. He will literally fight for anybody in this house. Great kid, a good person, very unique. I like him a lot. Give it up for Zach Yankover. And I didn't say stick, except for right now. Next we got brother, okay, there's only one word that can truly describe brother Brandon Fraser, and that is baller. When he's not updating us on fast food places or the Purell dispensers in the bathroom during his riveting good and welfares, in which he stares at the gavel the entire time, he can be found doing mature things with his no longer GDI girlfriend Whitney. In fact, when we were in Montreal for our formal, during the day, all the brothers went to the bars to get an early start on drinking. But Brother Frazen took his girlfriend to the Biodome to see the animals. Brother Edridge actually joined him there also, but I think he was just trying to go hunting. Frazen may get flustered at times, but honestly, one of the nicest kids I know. I freaking love this kid. Great kid. I'm glad I got to meet him. Ladies love him. Men bow at his feet. Brandon Frazen, everybody. Now I'm going to talk about the Lodge. You can't talk about the Lodge without Corey Passarella. Passarella, I must first start off by the leader, the dictator of the Lodge, Corey Passarella. If there's one thing I've learned from Brother Passarella, it's never touch an Italian man's iPod. If you ever try to turn off his techno, he will eat you. Passarella, or if you ask him, he'd prefer to be called by his nickname, which he made up for himself, C. He's not just a big fan of listening to music, he also loves dancing to it. Some of his signature dance moves are his hands to the side, playing the piano, and occasionally the hammerhead shark. I've seen him do them all, people. I've seen him do them all. I plan to one day open a Jewish-Italian deli with him called Mozzarella or spaghetti and matzo balls. The main item on the menu will be giant salamis, which can be found on his chest. C-Pass is the man, though. Honestly, always has your back. One of the greater kids, hard worker, a great cook, overall great friend, my Italian stallion, Corey Passarella. All right. Thank you, Brother Kranz, for teaching us the importance of drinking Bud Heavies, loving couches, and constantly apologizing. When he's not dapping people up or jumping on top of pong tables, he can be found hanging out on the roof of ZBT. You've got more nicknames and songs than your name can fit into, and more than anyone else I know. You pretend not to be Jewish, but no disrespect, Kranz, we all know you had a bar mitzvah. I know you're one of my best friends because you tell me it every time we're drunk. Matter of fact, you say that to everyone every time you're drunk one-on-one with them. You're an emotional kid who's not afraid to lend a hand, state your opinion, or shed a tear at any given matter. You were the first Pledge Class president with an unforgettable good and welfare, which I'll repeat. You know, for the good and welfare of the Alpha chapter, I was able to just like to say I handed in my homework on time, which was great. I'm glad you handed in your homework on time. Honestly, one of the frattiest kids I know, always down to have a good time. There's no one who parties like Kranz does. One of the more fun kids. Bud Heavies for life, Andrew Kranz. This next lodgeman is from California and is literally the definition of a kid who just chills. Jamie Stein is not much of a talker to the outside eye. He can be compared to some as a fart because, though he appears to be silent, once he's drunk, he is deadly. Thank you. It's not that Brother Stein doesn't talk a lot, it's the fact that when he does, it isn't English. It's This bizarre language has become a signature mark of the lodge and all the lodgemen who annoyingly say it. But overall, great kid, solid basketball player. One of those kids who, honestly, the more you get to know, the better you like him. Him and his brother sound exactly alike. It's crazy. Jamie Stein! This final lodgeman is one of a kind, minus the fact that he's an identical twin brother. Matt Kramer, happy birthday, by the way, is a hardcore football Giants fan and a hardcore ladies man. If you argue with him, he will say to you, "What? What? Me?" If there was a medal for getting with seriously the most girls on campus, you'd probably have 3 medals, okay? I don't think I've ever hooked up with a girl who hasn't said to me, "I've hooked up with him," or at least wanted to hook up with him. It's pretty much become an accepted policy among brothers. Any good-looking girl you want to hook up with, Kramer's probably got with him already. Which is okay. Wearing long socks, glasses, a tank top, and the greatest natural beard in our house, unless you count Caston's, but that's not natural. Though in the Olympics he no longer roots for Belgium, he's a great loyal friend, a complete bro, a funny, smart kid. Overall, the kid's just the man. Matt Kramer, everybody. I told you this wouldn't be so bad. Everyone was freaking out. All right, this next brother is literally the homeless brother of our class. Having been in Boston all semester making love to soccer players, Brother Max Canner, a.k.a. Stupid, a.k.a. Tax, now goes from apartment to apartment eating our food, using our appliances, and sleeping on our floors. When he's not playing FIFA, watching Dexter, or chipping his teeth in Munich, Max sits on his computer literally for hours, being a degenerate, just staring at his fantasy sports teams and planning for next year's draft. Someone who often gets overheated when he goes out and sweaty, Brother Max Canner sweats almost as much as Brother Ben Lightman. But that's impossible. You should see some of his pit stains. Max is often bitter sometimes because he knows his younger brother is a lot cooler than he is. But honestly, he's a great guy, a lot of fun, one of those kids, truly is himself no matter where he is. I love him a lot. Give it up for Max Canner. And now to a section of our house called the J-Bones. We have some brothers who live on East Adams and those who live in Castle, and we call them the J-Bones. Of course, you must start with the leader of the J-Bones. Naturally, there's no one other than President Emeritus, Brother Jake Culp. A natural dictator in general, Leader Jake Culp has taught me that if you are large and jacked, you must automatically obtain power. When the world isn't still revolving around Steve Schaller, it revolves around Brother Jake Culp. With the amount of scuffles him and other J-Bones get into, though, let's just say I'm happy these guys are on our side. When Jake's not telling people what to do or looking like a future high school gym teacher or football coach, Brother Cobb enjoys hanging out with particular ninja cab drivers. In all seriousness, though, Jake's done a lot for our house. He was the former president. He's probably done more than any other kid. I respect that kid a lot. Give it up for Brother Jake Cobb. As we continue going through the J-Bone crew, next up is Brother Matt Bernstein. The only position Bernie has ever held in the house is day drinking chair. If there was an actual beer Olympics, hands down, Bernstein would probably win it. Once he sits down on a couch at night, he's pretty much never getting up. There's no brother in the house who relies on pledges more for every single action during the day than Brother Matt Bernstein. If Brother Bernstein has to sneeze, there's a pledge there who must bring him a tissue. First semester, we only had 3 pledges, and when I would call each of them, they would tell me, "Where are you?" They were all at Bernstein's. But despite often appearing as a zombie, Bernstein's one of the better athletes in our pledge class, one of the most well-liked kids, doesn't argue much, has a lot of fun, probably can outdrink half the house. Brother Matt Bernstein. The next J-Bone is Brother Adam Lindheim. Adam has taught me the importance of raising your voice in any and every type of situation. Because clearly the more you yell, the more people naturally must listen to you. When he's not cleaning up the kitchen, loving Sife, or teaching people how to Dougie, Lindheim enjoys spending quality time with his best friend and secret lover, Brother Alex Volanovich, who unfortunately couldn't make it here today because he is beating up 2 innocent children. According to Brother Lindheim in a pledging interview freshman year, he was the 3rd best lacrosse player in all of Wisconsin. Very impressive. A bitter man because his younger brother is a lot cooler than him also, Lindheim often takes out his frustration at the gym and on Brother Ryan Kazdan. We look forward to the Kazdan-Lindheim law firm sometime in the future. Truthfully, Lindheim is a hard worker, natural leader, very respected brother in the house. Got to know him very well. He's a great guy. He's a little bitter because he's a ginger, but hey, what are you going to do about it? Brother Adam Lindheim. The next brother is the creator of one of the most annoying yet addictive voices to ever hit ZBT that we all can't stop doing, Brother Steven Safford. Yeah, go to France, go to France. With his golden locks of love and curly hair, Brother Steven Safford was once told by legendary Brother Jed Limmer that he looked like a portrait of a Renaissance girl. When he's not fist fighting with Brother Max Canner or looking like Brother Drew Sagan, Brother Steven Safford enjoys sleeping. We'll leave it at that. As Brother Jake Cobb's accomplice, the two were able to finagle somehow him becoming internal vice president last year. His running campaign claim was, "I'm going to fix the internet," which of course never happened. I've known this kid for a long time though, went to camp with him. Great kid, hard worker, I like him a lot. Give it up for Brother Steven Safford. This next brother was born at Castle Court. Though he's never lived in the house, Brother Richie Blank has so much pride in ZBT that he's being kind enough to continue the tradition of our class by sticking around for an extra year. Great man. Brother Richie Blank and I were pledge masters last semester for 3 kids, and I'm not going to lie, there were times where I was more scared of him than they were. A fun guy who loves to party and probably can outdrink the entire house. Brothers were so shocked last week when they saw him in the library that someone actually took a picture of it and posted it on the listserv. Always working out, doing hard. I love you, Richie. You're my boy. Long Island for life. Get up for Richie Blank. If there was ever a TV show to be written about a brother in ZBT, it'd have to be Brother Ryan Kazdan. Though most of it would consist of sitting in the library and studying for the LSATs, Brother Ryan Kazdan would find some way to make it extremely overdramatic. This Keanu Reeves impersonator, who loves to rub his chest muscles, used to intentionally walk into his room in just a towel every time a girl would come over to the house, just so he could flex. Overreacting to just about anything ever done to him, Kazdan asked 3 different people yesterday to make sure his roast wasn't too hard. But Kazzy, you're too easy to roast. You're always on fire. I've never met a kid who could literally slow down a sentence and make it as theatrical as Brother Ryan Kazdan. I'll never forget him spiking his Gatorade in the middle of the floor during hash, his face after kidnapping, or every time he's had any type of interaction with Fred. But Casson, you know we all love you. You worked your butt off. You did everything Jake basically told you to do. You're a genuine kid. We love you. It's all good fun. Give it up for Brother Ryan Casson. The next kid is one of my roommates, so I know him very well. In case you didn't know, he just got a Twitter account, but I'm sure you know because all he does is ask you to follow him. This newly formed meathead, Johnny Braun, you can regularly find him at Gold's working on his body or standing in the mirror just looking at it in amazement. The actual amount of time Johnny spends looking in the mirror, either flexing or trying to give his hair the perfect flip, is actually quite remarkable. Johnny goes through about at least 4 different outfits nightly before finally choosing the one he wants to wear. Known as a dirty kid for some for leaving Q-tips all around, Johnny's become a much more efficient cleaner as he frequently spends time by the ZBT dumpster. You always know when he is in a room because you can just hear him screaming, "Yas, yas," every other minute. Great kid though, really got to know him. One of my really good friends here. I'm glad I got to live with him. Give it up for Johnny Braun. This next brother has taught me that it's okay to be small as long as you're really, really jacked. Go to the gym almost as often as B. Schwartz. Brother Matt Paul's biceps are literally bigger than his head. You can find him daily in his room, reading about wine, counting calories, or just staring at his abs. But if you can't find this unproportional brother in a room, just follow the scent of the most disgusting farts you've ever smelled. They will surely lead you to Matt Paul's anus. One of the trendiest men I know. I often feel like Matt and his girlfriend Alex should be accompanied by paparazzis wherever they go. From his dog tags to his European leather jacket, to a silver tight puffy jacket that makes him look like a suffocating astronaut, Matt Paul sure has a unique style that no other human being in the world would want to emulate. Though he's from Westchester, he's easily the most Long Island kid in our house. Before he took steroids, he used to fight off bullies by playing them in Mercy. Unbelievable Mercy player, by the way. Don't play with Mercy. Truly though, Matt Paul honestly has done so much work for us. He has literally set up every party that we've had, even for a lot of them with his girlfriend sorority. It doesn't matter. He set up every party, did a lot for our house. Best social we ever had. Give it up for brother Matt Paul. This next guy is the future Pauly D of the world, DJ Phil DeLemby. Whenever there is techno music, don't look too far. You can find DJ Phil fist pumping and doing his other metrosexual Italian dances somewhere nearby. Just like brother Jimmy Sullivan and others before him, Phil has become an honorary member of ZBT, who attends our parties because he knows how to hit the next button on the iPod. You want to be a DJ? Thank you. Check it out on YouTube. When he's not sitting in his bed blasting techno, working on his abs, or texting with one specific girl, you can find him spending hours doing his hair or sitting and watching chick flicks. Honestly, though, Phil, I love you. Italian style, you're the man. I'm glad honestly, I don't care, brother or not, you're as good a friend as anyone else. Give it up for Phil DeLemby. If in my lifetime I can live to be just half as cool as this next kid, I could die a happy man. Brother Stephen Schaller is the definition of perfection. If perfection was a conceited, weight-obsessed man who loves talking about himself and reminiscing on his days at Shaker High School and his basketball team. If life-size Barbie had a life-size Ken, it would be Brother Steve Schaller. Brother Steve Schaller's eating habits are similar to a 6-year-old refusing to eat fruits or vegetables or anything that is even green. In case you didn't know already, it's only fitting that this golden child would find a job at Goldman Sachs. When he's not sitting 5th row at Q's basketball games with his dad, the legend Joel Schaller, or refusing to pay rent for my apartment even though he never leaves, you can find Brother Steve Schaller at the bars hitting on any girl in sight, even if they're not that good looking. Schaller, you're the man though, I love you. You've become a good friend of mine this semester. Give it up for Brother Steve Schaller. This last and final brother is the guy you tell your kids stories about from college. Brother Ben Reitman, a.k.a. Reitman, a.k.a. Coach Doug, a.k.a. Dougie Fresh, and a whole lot more is truly the definition of college. Sporting the same cough since pledging freshman year, and constantly screaming at anyone on the phone. Brother Reitman has been quite interesting to live with since sophomore year. He's the only kid who could bring a 60-inch TV into our dorm room that we had to put halfway into our closet because it couldn't fit. One day, Lightman told me he needed to go shopping for some essential things that we had to have, and he'd be back later. An hour later, Brother Lightman returned with a ball of Silly Putty and 2 different types of gummy fruit snacks. I used to sit on my bed and toss fruit snacks in the air, which he would jump and catch in his mouth, as if he were a dolphin at SeaWorld. Whenever you eat a meal with Brother Lightman, he will ask you over 100 questions about your food and whether or not you like it, and how you could have made it better. You can often find him on his couch with a backwards hat on and beef jerky hanging out of his mouth, as he tries to brainstorm new inventions that will probably never work. Being the official mascot of AE5, Lightman enjoys hanging out with every Jewish girl and getting involved in all their drama. Ladies seem to love him though, because every time they hang out with him, they know they're in for a blast. A man who knows more useless information than anyone else I know, or just makes up random facts and pretends they're true. I will love Brother Ben Lightman forever, my roommate, my entertainment, my best friend, hands down the most liked kid in this house, Brother Ben Lightman. Brother Ben Spiegel couldn't make it here today. But he would have sounded just like that if he was here. That's it, we got a slideshow coming up. Thanks a lot, that's my time. I appreciate all you get defended.